Live from the Momentary in Bentonville, Arkansas, it's eTown on the Road with this week's guest from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Buffalo Nichols, our interview guest, Nate Walls, and from Los Angeles, California, the Milk Carton Kids. I'm Helen Forster. Right now, please join me in welcoming our host, Nick Forster.
Thank you, Helen. Welcome, everybody. We are, as Helen said, in a new place for us. We're in the Momentary in Bentonville, Arkansas, and it's our first time here. I learned a little bit about this place through the ages. Historically, it was a hunting ground, of course, for the Osage people, and then about 100 years ago, it was a apple orchard, and then in the late 40s, it became a processed cheese factory, which it was for decades. And then it was recently transformed into a multimedia, mixed medium space for arts and culture and gathering. And it's also a really green building, because the greenest buildings, of course, are ones that already exist. It's a beautiful example of adaptive reuse. Where there was Velveeta, now there is art and music, and we're happy to be a part of that. So feels good, feels good. We've been making eTown radio shows for a long time, more than 30 years. This is also the first time we've ever been in the state of Arkansas to tape a show, so we're excited about that too. Yeah, it's not my first time here. I played here with my band Hot Rise, but I hitchhiked here when I was 17, intentionally. I hitchhiked to Arkansas from upstate New York when I was 17 years old. And I'll tell you more about that later on, but that was, it was my Shangri-La for a minute or two. We have a great show for you this week. We've got some great guests. Their music we're happy to share with you. Buffalo Nichols is here from Milwaukee. Very exciting. We have a local hero, a guest from over in Fayetteville who's doing a great job. Nate Wells is here to tell us about the work that he's doing. And of course, we have our friends from Southern California, Joey Ryan and Kenneth Pattengale. They do it all. They sing, they play, they write, they badger each other. We love them. Please welcome to the stage here at eTown our good friends, the Milk Carton Kids.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That was a lovely introduction. Happy to be here. We hitchhiked here yesterday.
That's the start of the song, Joey.
Well, I was going to tell them all about our hitchhiking adventures. Oh, that's for later.
I'm under attack, and I can't fight back. I can't even see what's hanging on my back. Is it a targeting? Is it a beast of rage? Either way, I never act my age. I'm running free. I'm running wild, I'm running still, running child, running down my burden, running on sweet smile. I mostly feel like hell. You say I'm doing well. Here on earth, where can we go so we can tell? The pain will slowly fade, never to wash away. I can't carry you, I don't know what to say. I'm running free, I'm running wild, I'm running still, running child, running down my burden, running on sweet smile, running down my burden. sacrifice, cast no blame, pointless shame, be my everything. I'm running free, I'm running wild, I'm running still, running child, running down my burden, running on sweet smile, running down my burden, running on sweet smile, running down my burden, running on sweet smile.
The Milk Carton Kids are back here at eTown. You guys sound great.
Well, hell, this is the nicest Walmart I've ever been in. Nick. Really spiffy.
I should mention that there is a little debt you guys owe to Northwest Arkansas, which is that Joe Purdy, local native son, kind of helped you launch a little bit, right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, absolutely. The first time we ran around North America was as Joe Purdy's opening act and backing band on a 55-city tour. And he actually, he was a good friend of ours from Los Angeles, and we had this burgeoning collaboration happening, me and Kenneth, but we didn't have a band name yet or anything. And he wanted us to go on this tour with him, so we had to hurry up and decide on a band name. It's probably why we came up a little short. So that we would have something to put on the tour poster, and start this project. But the first shows we did as the Milk Carton Kids were 55 shows with Joe Purdy across North America.
Yeah. I want to ask you about your COVID time. So this sounds like this was a productive time, although I imagine your experiences were also really different from each other's. Like Joey, you got to spend more time with your kids and experience being home dad with no income for a period of time. What was that like?
Oh, I had almost forgotten. Oh, well, I went, like many of us, I think I went through all the stages of grief and got signed up with a great therapist. And after a few months, settled into all the great things that came from being able to be home with my two young kids, who I just never really thought I would see that much, I guess, because we've been on tour so much for so long that I was really used to being gone about half the time. And I'm very grateful for the reset there, the recalibration on what it's like to be home 100% of the time. Because I think now as this new album comes out, and we are going to go tour the world again, but I think we'll shoot for being gone like a quarter of the time instead of like half the time.
Does that work out for you, Kenneth?
Oh, his family business? Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
They're nice children. They don't offer very much, just in the way as contribution, like entertainment and such. They just kind of take up space.
Well, not to you, Kenneth. You have to engage with them. They're children. You can't just... Kenneth got married during the pandemic, and he got a dog, which he's got one dog, and I've got two kids. Somehow his dog is more high maintenance than both of my kids.
Well, there's a COVID story. That's interesting. You got married during the COVID break.
Yeah, July 2020, and then we had a year and a half long honeymoon.
Yeah. Everything's still working out okay?
Yeah, somehow it did. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's a lot of time to spend.
That would weed out the bad marriages, right? If you got married and then you had to do a year and a half honeymoon.
Yeah.
And if it didn't go well, it was annulled. That would solve the whole problem.
Yeah.
The marriage crisis.
Nip it in the bud before you
yeah.
spend 20 years and 5 kids later, and I get it.
Yeah.
Divorce lawyers would be unhappy with that decision, but I'm just so happy you got married and you got a dog and you moved, so you guys were productive. And did you work on your online presence and things? You did release a live record.
Like in order to get married?
No, during the pandemic, during the COVID time, the Milk Carton Kids put out a live record from an older show, right?
We did, although it's funny to say, like when I was, setting my intentions for my new lifestyle with my therapist, working on my online presence wasn't in the top priorities, I have to say. But we did end up doing a bunch of stuff. We started a whole online version of we do a variety show in Los Angeles called Sad Songs Comedy Hour. And we took it on, figured out how to sort of do it online, which is our way of staying in contact with our musical friends across the country and the world who we weren't getting to see. Yeah. So we did that. Like you, we went through our archives. Kenneth is a bit of well, I'm very grateful for it, but I do think it's a bit of a disorder that he's got, but he's an obsessive archivist. So we have everything that we've ever done. It came in handy. So we put out a couple of live albums that Kenneth culled together from the records, which are beautiful. One of them was for raising money for a good cause, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't judge any of this. I think all this behavior seems vaguely productive during a shutdown when you just don't know what else to do. Mm-hmm. So I congratulate you. It's not easy to stay relevant when you have to stay home.
Well, what the most beautiful thing about COVID for us was, which I know what a strange sentence that is, considering it's a virus that killed millions of people and changed the way that we all understand existence and life. You're probably experiencing it the first time back, but it wasn't since we weren't allowed to do our jobs that for the first time in a decade we really had the perspective to enjoy doing our jobs. And every single show since we've been back, except for one, but there's extenuating circumstances. Every single show I've found it very easy to stand next to my longtime collaborator and very close friend and be able to enjoy and play music without having the busyness of insecurity or ambition or career infiltrate that sacred space. And to be able to stand there with him and have that clarity and have that experience is a gift. I don't know, I hope that I would have matured to that at some point in life, but we really got a kind of shock to get there, and that's something that we're really grateful for.
That's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's cool.
Well said, Kenneth.
Yeah. I think we should stop there. I think it's downhill. Be careful.
You can cut the rest of it. What was the one show that you didn't like?
I'm still sore about that, so let's not talk about it.
I'm sorry if it was my fault.
It was.
All right. Well, honesty is flowing here, so I like that too. Meanwhile, we'll look forward to the release of this record, which is going to be in 2023 sometime,
May
right?
19th.
This year.
May 19th.
May 19th.
Yeah, that's the date. I don't know why he said sometime soon vaguely like it was a secret. There's a date, it's on the calendar, there's people planning around it, there's commitments we've made.
Welcome back, if you would, from Southern California, the Milk Carton Kids.
Down past the aspen, lost in the trails, I try to outlast them, my tears making haze. Let's take the North Country ride, where it stays light so far into the night. We'll keep the moon in our eyes, breathe the islands till everything feels alright. see in the end your path after all. Let's take the North Country ride, where it stays light so far into the night. We'll keep the moon in our eyes, breathe the ions till everything feels alright. I know how hard it is to fight with the whole of the world. I know the scars. You had the most beautiful scar. Out on the dock, so gray and so cold, echoes of the rocks, alive, I know and I love. Let's take the North Country ride, where it stays light so far into the night. We'll keep the moon in our eyes, breathe the ions till everything feels alright. Let's take the North Country ride, where it stays light so far into the night. We'll keep our eyes on the prize, breathe the ions till everything feels alright.
That is Kenneth Pattingale and Joey Ryan, the Milk Carton Kids from Los Angeles, California. They'll be back to play some more music a little later on in the show.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by Visit Bentonville, celebrating the historic town square, the miles of bike trails, and the city's commitment to both the visual and the performing arts. More information is available at visitbentonville.com. You're listening to eTown.
We've got more music coming up later on, folks. Buffalo Nichols is here, and he's going to play some music. Came down from Milwaukee, and we'll have more music from the Milk Carton Kids after a while. But before we do that, I don't need to tell you, and the Milk Carton Kids alluded to it, but things are a little wacky out there. We've all seen it. There is fires and floods and threats to our democracy and war in Ukraine and COVID pandemic and challenges to our economy and all kinds of stuff. And we hear about all that stuff all the time. It comes at us. So for a long time, every single show, we try to find something that we can celebrate that is in fact good news, something that is a story that demonstrates our humanity in one way or another. It's always pretty simple steps that people are taking in their hometowns to make things a little better on behalf of people in need, on behalf of the environment, on behalf of their community. And we get to meet these folks and share their story on the air. This week is no exception. I called my friend Hannah Withers, whom I have known since she was a little baby. She has a place called Maxine's Tap Room in Fayetteville, and she knows a lot of people. And I called Hannah and I just said, hey, what's the story? And tell me some people who are doing great things in and around Northwest Arkansas. She gave me a long list. So hats off to Northwest Arkansas. There's a lot of people doing great stuff in this neighborhood. Yeah. And among the many stories that she shared with me was the story of Nate Wells, who's here. He's our guest. He's the guy who has had a series of challenges of his own. He went through his own problems with both drug addiction and getting in trouble in various ways. He was in the service. He found a way not only to pull himself up and get back on track, but also to lend a helping hand to those around him and those in need. He's really done a great job doing something that he has come to excel at, and that is cooking, and particularly barbecue. And here to tell you more of his story is, in fact, our guest this week. Please welcome to the stage at eTown, Nate Wells. Nate, welcome to eTown. Good to see you. Glad you could be here.
It's a pleasure.
So I shared just a tiny little bit of your story. Maybe you can fill us in. Where did you grow up? And tell us a little about that.
So I was born in St. Louis, and through a bad environment, I was given to the state with my brother, and a lady from Stuttgart, Arkansas, adopted us.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Stuttgart. She had some people don't know what this is, but a juke joint.
Yeah,
And
I know what that is.
It was soul food and a jukebox and music and food.
Yeah.
It's always together.
Yeah. Did she put you to work when you were there growing up? Did you have to work in the kitchen?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So what did she made you cook and stuff?
I started cooking like 8 years old, man. I'm frying chicken, mashed potatoes, and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah. And then so where did you kind of get off track? Where did that happen?
So if I'm gonna be transparent, she was what we say today, abusive, and just kind of when kids pushed back a little bit, and I went far as I could from the church because we were always going to church, but things at home weren't great. Just started getting in trouble, stealing, doing drugs, selling drugs. So back then, if you was a problem, then they sent you to the Army, and that's gonna fix it, right? It didn't fix it.
Yeah.
So I did my 4 years, and I started doing exactly what I was in there for. So it was terrible.
Yeah. And you told me on the phone when we first talked that you at some point you just hit rock bottom.
So right before COVID, I was drinking real heavy. And I was drinking real heavy for a long time, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And at that point, my brother died not long after that. And then the next day, my wife told me she had an apartment and she no longer wanted to be with me, so. And that was my rock bottom. Everybody got their own rock bottom, but that was my rock bottom. And you can either quit or push yourself back up.
Yeah. And so let's just get going with what you got right now. So you've got a catering company that's called Secondhand Smoke that does barbecue, and you do parties and private events.
Yeah. We was essentially doing a lot of what we do now, the leftovers from the catering gigs. We would go into the communities, just like communities I grew up in, and just feed it to people and really build relationships and see how people are doing.
Yeah.
You know, and just going door to door and just seeing how, man, COVID was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible in COVID because 2 families living in one house, and I just really wanted to let people know that I'm here for them with a plate, and just really were interested in what they going through right now.
Yeah. But what do you mean going to door? Do you actually go to the people's houses
Yes.
and then ask them if they need food?
Yeah. I was basically a politician with food. So we canvassed and just knocked on doors. I got to tell this story. We did a trailer park in Fayetteville, and it was rebel flags everywhere. And, I was called all kind of things, and I had to really dig deep. You know what I'm saying? And a couple weeks later, all the rebel flags was gone, and it was all about all the relationships you build. I didn't say anything, but they just did that because we connected.
Wow. That's a great story.
And at the end of the day, we're all the same.
Yeah. Well, listen, food is a great way to bridge the gap and connect and cross
Absolutely.
those boundaries and borders. And you're figuring out a way to connect with people one-on-one and bringing something that people need and appreciate. Is there a website, Second Helping NWA? Is that
secondhelpingnwa.com.
.com?
Yeah, and they can go in there and donate or volunteer.
Somebody wants to get involved.
All you have to do is just one thing for somebody, and it's the connectivity of that, just helping. You don't have to do a lot. Everybody's help is different.
Yeah, but it sounds like by helping other people, it's also helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so in the last couple of years, how many people do you think you fed?
Probably close to 30,000. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
a lot.
I got a really good team.
Yeah.
Got a really good team.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm really happy that that Hannah introduced us and that we got to share your story on the air. And
Hey, thank you. I enjoy being here.
Yeah, Nate, I'm glad you're here. And once again, if people want to learn more about what you're up to, secondhelpingnwa.com. And this is Nate Wells, the guy who got it all started.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thanks for being here. It is a beautiful thing to find out how easy it is to make a difference and how it happens everywhere. There's great stories like Nate's everywhere. We're going to have more music from the Milk Carton Kids after a while. Right now, I want to tell you about our next guest. Buffalo Nichols, born in Houston, grew up in Milwaukee, and he was drawn to music in all kinds of different ways. He had an opportunity to play in bands and hadn't quite found his own musical vision, and he began to travel. And he traveled to Europe, he traveled to West Africa, he traveled all over the place with his guitar, and in so doing, found a way to connect the traditions and the traditional music that he appreciated and that he learned. And he began to find ways to bring that into a contemporary vernacular, tell stories in this sort of folk music world that were relevant to today. And it's been working out really well. He's played everywhere from Lollapalooza to the Newport Folk Festival. We're happy to have him here with us. Please welcome to the eTown stage for his first visit from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Buffalo Nichols.
If I could be your place to hide, I'd tell you the sweetest lies, knowing we won't get out alive. I'd tell you that we'll be okay. If I could be your mercy seat, where your secrets come to sleep, and not the reason that you weep, I wouldn't be alone. With my heart in my throat and my stomach on the floor, I'm beaten and I'm broken, but I'm coming back for more. And I miss you like an eagle with a broken wing misses the skies above, where he would watch over these things. If I could be up there with you, I would only tell the truth. And if it hurts like pulling the tooth, then it only hurts one time. I'd protect you from their lies, but the ones I'd tell would fly, circling up above our heads to feast on a love that's dead. With your body close to mine and my heart in your hand, if we're gonna die together, let's do it to the rhythm of the band. And I'll dance to your beating heart, and you'll dance on my grave. Just promise that you'll break my neck when you know I can't be saved from all these things. All these things keep me wide awake at night. All these things used to keep my tunnel bright, and now all these things just make me scared of getting old. 'Cause you're no longer here, and now all I have to hold are all these things. Thank you.
Buffalo Nichols. Carl, good to see you, man. Good to have you here. Welcome to
be here.
eTown.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did I get that right about you playing around in Milwaukee, playing in bands, and then it wasn't until you traveled till you kind of found your spot musically?
Yeah, where I am right now was the result of a lot of traveling.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was talking to Nate about how food is a great, kind of crosses every boundary and border, and music does the same thing, I imagine, when you're traveling in places where you don't share the language and you've got a guitar, open some doors, right?
Yeah, being able to play music, I figured out that, it was something that could sustain me, not just financially, but, could get me to see different cultures and go different places that I wouldn't have otherwise gone.
Yeah. When you were growing up in Milwaukee, did you go down to Chicago? And I heard you went to the Old Town School of Folk Music from time to time. Was that a similar deal where you could find your way into different styles of music by learning and listening?
Yeah, I really fell in love with kind of traditional Scandinavian music and Turkish music from going there, and heard a lot of great artists,
Yeah. And then so when you started traveling, you found your way to West Africa or North Africa? Where'd you go?
Yeah, West Africa and Senegal.
Senegal, yeah. You must have learned some stuff.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with griot families, which in this Manding kind of culture, it's an artist caste in a way, where they're historians and musicians and artists, and
they play the kora a lot of the time, right?
Yeah, a lot of them play kora in Senegal, and in Mali they play an instrument called the khalam or the ngoni, and a lot of great guitar players and djembe players and everything.
That's cool. And mostly French speaking, or what did you sang in English? And
yeah, French was the lingua franca, and I used that to get around. Most people in Dakar at least speak Wolof, but you make an effort to speak a little bit of their actual language. It goes a lot further than the colonial language.
Yeah, and you're also the only person I know who's actually spent a bunch of time hanging out in Ukraine. So what was that like?
Yeah, I started going to Ukraine in 2014. A lot of people were surprised to see me there, so a lot of open doors for me. And I've been going back. Actually, my career as a touring artist really started there. That was when I first started touring as a songwriter.
Wow.
And I met a lot of great musicians there,
touring in the country of Ukraine, touring in different parts. So you traveled throughout.
Yeah, seen the whole country a few times.
Wow, and singing in English the whole time.
Yeah, I once made the mistake of trying to do stage banter in Russian, and they didn't appreciate that.
Well, it's less popular even than that now. And so it's interesting to me because when I hear the music on your first record, I hear obviously the roots of the things that inspired you. I didn't hear necessarily the Turkish or the Scandinavian influences, but I heard Blind Willie Johnson and Doc Watson and other things that were in there too. So,
I started out my music career playing in punk bands, but then when I started to actually want to make money, I had to switch genres. So I started playing a lot of folk music and just joining bluegrass bands as a guitar player for hire. It wasn't really a career goal, it was just a pay rent goal. But I learned a lot trying to pay rent.
Yeah. And now you've got these moments where you're playing these big festivals and playing Newport, and I'm sure some of that is surprising, but it also seems like it's a long overnight success, right?
Yeah, a lot of people never heard of me, and then they see me at Newport, and maybe it seems like it happened pretty quickly, but it was. I'm like 15 years into my music career, and this is my first album. It's because I can't stick to one thing. So
yeah. Well, listen, I hope the variety of what you're after and what you're trying to do keeps evolving, and obviously you're a great listener, traveling around, and that's such a big part of playing music is just listening.
It is, and I was actually listening to the Milk Carton Kids earlier, and they managed to be both self-deprecating and insult the audience directly. I just wanted to. I haven't quite seen it pulled off like that, so I just wanted to.
There's always something to learn. Yeah, there's always something to learn. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm happy to be able to kind of get to know you and get to know your music a little bit. And anyway, let's get back to playing some music, and welcome back, if you would, Buffalo Nichols.
We're gonna do one together, right?
You want to play together?
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah.
This is an old song called Life Goes On. It's old for me, I wrote it. It's in the key.
We don't get along so well, the two of us don't see eye to eye. Must be under some old spell, makes it hard for us to even try. You're an angel without wings, trying to find him in a bottle of wine. I got a devil on my shoulder telling me it's gonna be just fine if I don't walk away. You don't got nothing to say. Yeah, we can last another day, and life goes on. Somewhere to tell the truth, I don't remember why. And you don't tell me where you've been, you don't even see the need to lie. But if there's a way for you and me to give this thing called love another chance, then let's go out tomorrow night, 'cause I still remember how you love to dance. So before you walk away, there's something that I need to say. Yeah, I still miss you every day. That life goes on. There's something that I need to say. Yeah, I still need you every day. That life goes on. Here we go. Last that long. I hope I go before you do, although I know you'd hate to be alone. But if I should pass away, well, don't fall on your knees and pray. Just know I'm gonna be okay, and life goes on. I should pass away, don't fall on your knees and pray. Just know you're gonna be okay, and life goes on.
Right, thank you. All right, I'm gonna do another one of my songs with the band this time. So if something goes wrong, just remember it's because we haven't rehearsed and someone made a mistake, okay?
You know a pretty girl will make you do ugly things. Smoke cigarettes and buy diamond rings. I know I'm not a heartless man, but there's some things I hardly understand. There's one thing you did was good for me. You showed me things that I just couldn't see. You made me realize I do need love. And even though in the end I wasn't good enough, oh, the way you hurt me showed me how to love. The way you hurt me showed me how to love. I sold everything I had and bought a lie. There ain't a powder or a pill could ever get my hopes this high. But a life of sin then brought me to my knees. Love could have been the cure, but your love was a disease. And the way you hurt me showed me how to love. The way you hurt me showed me how to love. The way you hurt me showed me how to love. Oh, the way you hurt me showed me how to love. see that you could hardly hurt a fly. The way you treated me was wrong, but I know the reason why. 'Cause the way they hurt you showed you how to love. The way they hurt you showed you how to love. The way they hurt you showed you how to love. Oh, the way they hurt you showed you how to love.
Thank you. That's Buffalo Nichols from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The CD is called Buffalo Nichols, out on Fat Possum Records, along with eTones, Bradley Morris, Christian Teal, Adam Bodine.
Your visit to eTown is made possible with support from the Sage Foundation, the Cielo Foundation, the Scintilla Foundation, the City of Boulder's Office of Arts and Culture, and our members, our citizens, and our listeners like you. As a reminder, for your viewing pleasure, there are over 2,000 eTown videos on the eTown YouTube channel, where you can also subscribe to stay up to date with our latest offerings. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. I'd like to say hello to our listeners who are hearing eTown on stations like WMSV in Starkville, Mississippi, on KBUT in Crested Butte, Colorado, and on WOUB in Athens, Ohio, 91.3 FM. Thanks for listening, folks. As always, if you'd like some more information about any of the things we're up to at eTown, you can find all kinds of stuff at etown.org. So I mentioned earlier that I came to Arkansas intentionally when I was a teenager, and there was a funky music store in the West Village in New York City called the Music Inn, and my sister bought a dulcimer there that was made by a guy from Northeast Arkansas named Lynn McSpadden. And as a 17-year-old kid, I was directionless and not sure what was going on, but I did decide that I wanted to learn how to fix and repair and maybe build guitars and other instruments. And I zeroed in on the dulcimer, and I thought, man, that's going to be great. I'm going to hitchhike all the way from New York and visit this dulcimer maker named Lynn McSpadden in Mountain View, Arkansas. And of course, no internet, no whatever, so I just showed up at his shop one day. And I will say that from I-40 to Mountain View, Arkansas, I did a lot of walking. Yeah, that was not easy hitchhiking territory for a guy with a backpack and a banjo. That was not my finest moment. But in any event, I showed up, and Lynn couldn't be bothered, but I gleaned a couple of little tricks from him in his shop, and it was cool. And I got to sort of fall into that little community in and around Mountain View and play some music and learn some tunes. It was cool. It was my Shangri-La for a minute. Anyway. Right now, would you please help me welcome back to the stage from Southern California, the Milk Carton Kids.
Could we do an intro to this song where you don't play Norwegian wood?
Come on. I didn't play Norwegian. Now I will play Norwegian. Let's it.
No, don't. Almost. Change one note. I think we're in the clear from a copyright perspective.
Okay. Wait, what is Oh yeah, we don't need a clean applause. I was going to ask you for a clean applause, but you wouldn't have applauded anything yet.
It's still fun. All right, let's get an applause to go into this song. Thank you very much. It's good to be back. You kissed my hand, leaned over, said, let's call it a night. Twice a day, even a broken clock's bound to be right. I followed you inside, watched as you turned out the light. I'd never loved anyone so bad I'd put up a fight. You're always forgetting everything you've done in your life. You say I won't remember this morning by tonight, but I remember you smiled at me one time in the rising moonlight. I never saw anything white or shining so bright. Will you remember me when we were young, when we had nothing, when we had nowhere to be? Will you remember me climbing the fences, running through the night? I never wanted to leave. Will you remember me? I waited till I knew you'd finally fallen asleep. Told myself you could still hear me somehow in your dreams. I whispered I love you, I'm sorry, and I think you know. You're always there with me, everywhere I go. I cannot wait to come home. Will you remember me when we were young, when we had nothing, when we had nowhere to be? Will you remember me climbing the fences, running through the night? I never wanted to leave. Will you remember me?
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all, very much.
The Milk Carton Kids. So annoying, so charming. Can't help but love them. We've got time for one more song. We're going to get everybody out here and do one more song, and we thought long and hard about what we wanted to wind up with, and we chose a song written by an Arkansas native, Blaze Foley. We're going to leave you with this one. I do want to thank everybody who's been on the show. Thanks to Buffalo Nichols for coming down from Milwaukee and being a part of eTown for the first time. Thanks to Nate Walls for coming over from Fayetteville and sharing his stories about the great work his organization, Second Helping NWA, is doing. Thanks to the eTones, our house band, Helen Forster. Thanks to the Milk Carton Kids, our crew, the volunteers and staff here at the Momentary. Sing along if you want to. I'm Nick Forster. Hope you can be with us next week right here in eTown. I'm going down to the Greyhound station, gonna buy a ticket to ride. I'm gonna find that lady with 2 or 3 kids and sit down by her side. Ride till the sun comes up and down, round about 2 or 3 times. Smoking cigarettes in the last seat, sing a song for the people I meet, and get along with it all, where the people say y'all.
I'd like to stay, but I might have to go to start over again. Might go back down to Texas or go to somewhere that I've never been. Get up in the morning, go out at night, won't have to go home. Get used to being alone, change the words of this song, start singing again.
I'm tired of running around looking for answers, the questions that I already know. I could build me a castle of memories just to have somewhere to go. Count the days and nights that it takes to get back in the saddle again. Feed the pigeons some clay, turn the night into day, and start talking again when I know what to say. I'm going down to the Greyhound station, I'm gonna buy a ticket to ride. I'm gonna find that lady with 2 or 3 kids and sit down by her side. I'm gonna ride till the sun comes up and down, round about 2 or 3 times. Smoking cigarettes in the last seat, sing a song for the people I meet, and get along with it all.
This is a production of eTown.